Les plus belles carrières sont souvent faites de grand écart. Celle de la costumière Lindy Hemming a commencé aux côtés de Mike Leigh. 10 ans de collaboration couronnée par un Oscar pour Topsy-Turvy. Mais un coup de fil a changé la vie de cette chaleureuse galloise, celui des producteurs de James Bond. Depuis, elle enchaîne les films d'action et de super-héros. Après la trilogie de Christopher Nolan consacrée à Batman, Lindy Hemming a accepté de rhabiller une autre icône, Wonder Woman.
Who is this woman?
She's my secretary, sir. She's a very good secretary.
Dear Lindy, here we are surrounded by a Wonder Woman, and in a way you are a Wonder Woman. Yeah, you are a Wonder Woman because of all your creations.
I'm sure you are too.
Do you always wear the same way, or does it depend totally on the kind of project and about your state of mind also?
Yeah,
maybe?
of course. Whatever it is, a superhero or a domestic drama or whatever, I always investigate the characters and try to research the life of the characters and what kind of world they come from. So when you begin to do that on every character, you kind of find yourself researching ancient Greece and before ancient Greece and women heroines and women warriors. And then you also add that, you begin to think about fashion in 1914-18. And so there was such a lot of research to do for the film.
How can a woman possibly fight in this?
Fight? We use our principles, although I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the occasion arise.
How much is that a challenge to create a costume that's going to be both artistic, creative, and practical for an actor?
Well, in the beginning, when you're doing superhero films or action films, you have no idea of how much complication every little thing they do is going to involve. But on Bond, I think I had the best training, 5 Bonds. Everything has to be reproduced in multiple. And I know for sure that one of Pierce Brosnan's suits, and Daniel Craig as well, actually, but we had to have 50 jackets. I know. And often, almost always, there's 15 of each thing. Because you've got the actor, the stuntman for the fire, the stuntman for the water, the stuntman for driving the car. So every one of them has to have their own costume, and every one of those costumes has to be to the stitch, to the pattern, to the button, identical.
Why are you so interested by people who try to save the world?
I'm not. Well, I am, but not those sort of people usually. I would never have even thought that I would end up working on those kind of films, because more before, in my career, I worked on much more real things.
Yeah, with Mike Leigh,
Mike Leigh, people
yeah.
like that, yeah, and 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and all these kind of things where you study sociological behaviour and, real life. And so it was the biggest shock I ever had was to get a phone call from the people who make the James Bond films. It was amazing.
But as an audience, do you like action movies, superhero movies? If you are not paid to create for them,
really.
will you go to the movies to watch the next Batman or the next Superman?
No, in fact. No, I like really serious movies about politics and about things that happen in the world. I like films like Syriana or, I could think of lots of films. And I also like really, really watching really good actors working, all different actors.
Hey, Pop, can I ask you a question? How come you ain't never liked me? What law is there say I got to like you?
The other night I watched Fences. And you know what? I have always thought Denzel Washington was really believable, exceptionally, charismatic. And when you talk about the lack of diversity, I think it's almost like a demeaning of him, because he's been there doing it and he hasn't been saying anything, and he's been winning every time, because every part he does, he's great. And he's not a black man or anything. He's just a wonderful
tremendous actor, of course.
When I first met this woman, I saw Rose and I latched on to her. I told her, baby, I don't want to marry. I just want to be your man.
Rose told me.
I told him if he wasn't a mankind, and move out the way so the mankind could find me.
That's what she told me. You're in my way, you're blocking the view, move out the way so I can find me a husband.
Would you say you feel closer to British cinema, or are you fond of American cinema?
I think I'm fond of European cinema more than I'm fond of American cinema, generally speaking, because it's a phase in American cinema where they are making too many superhero films and these kind of things. But it'll come round. You know, they'll come back to making a different kind of film, and they have made great films.
Some people build fences to keep people out, and other people build fences to keep people in.
One of the great things about winning the Oscar is that every year, they send you all of the films that are in contention for the Oscars. So you see films from all over the world and America, which have been made by independent filmmakers.
What is the last one?
Oh, God.
That you remember?
Well, I actually saw a brilliant film which was called This Land of Mine in English. And it's about, at the end of the Second World War, the young children who'd become Nazi young boy soldiers being sent to clear the beaches. It was a really fabulous film, beautifully shot, wonderfully acted, and completely nobody knows anything about it.
Zwischen den schwarzen Fähnchen und dem Feldweg liegen 45.000 Minen. Ihr wird ihr alle schaffen. Wenn ihr das erledigt habt, könnt ihr nach Hause gehen. Willst du etwas sagen? Nein, Herr Feldwebel!
I like watching things which are so cleverly constructed that you follow the drama in the film, and then at the end of it you've learned something about the world now. I think if you're clever enough to make a movie that tells somebody something and that educates people, and even cleverer if you can make a blockbuster that does that, it's hard, but you know, that would be the sort of perfect aim, really.
So my last question would be, what kind of an audience are you in front of a film?
What do you mean? When I watch? My husband asks me, have you died? He asks me every time, are you dead? Because I'm like this. I watch it like a sort of a statue. Yeah, I'm like a dead person, except for here. This is not dead, but all of me is like frozen. Yeah, frozen's a better word.